From the day he came, he fought. The doctors had very little probability that he would survive because he was shy of 24 weeks. I was so nervous, laying there not knowing what's going to happen with my son. One of the nurses reached over and whispered in my ear, he took his first breath on his own. And that's when I knew he was going to make it. It was the worst experience, but at the end, now 10 months later, he's managed to pull through in so many ways because he's been through a lot. We didn't know what we were going to do with the other children. We came all the way from Stockton, so that we had no family in this area. And then I talked to my social worker. She said, let's contact Sherry with There With Care. And Sherry sent over gas cards and helped my mother come to us, deliver my very first package. And she was just so loving and caring. I would never forget that day. One day she said, well, Tanisha, do you ever need someone to come help you with the children? I said, that's great, because it's hard for me to break away from my children and go see my son. Next thing I know, I get a phone call within 2 days saying, I found someone. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to get to my son. I wouldn't be able to feed my family without the caring of others, without people wanting and willing to give. We wouldn't be here. Our son wouldn't have made it without us being here.
Kanoa was born a healthy baby boy. 8 weeks in, I noticed he had jaundice. In November of 2015, he was placed on the National Liver Transplant waiting list. His father and I, we were devastated. It's hard to hear, something's wrong with your child. They told me that Kanoa might not live past 2 years old. And so we flew up in January to be placed on the liver transplant list. And since then, we've stayed here. One family member came forward. His aunt donated a part of her liver to help save him. Because of the transplant, all of us, our family, is able to celebrate his second birthday. I don't think anyone expects to go through, something like this, but when we do, we take the little things for granted, like cooking, shopping. There With Care provides cooked meals. They provide fruits and vegetables and snacks. When there's that support from There With Care to understand what the family's going through, to be there when they need someone to talk to, just to be a listening ear, it's very warming and humbling, and it's nice that we as families can talk to someone, and that kind of understands what we're going through.
Every time our door opens, I see somebody who wants to help, and they want to help somebody that they don't know, and I think that's a really beautiful thing. When I speak to our families, they can't believe that somebody that they don't know would come pack up groceries, pack up clothes, pack up diapers for them, and deliver it to the hospital. Families allow us to be a part of what they're going through, and I think that's really special.
She went from being really, really healthy her whole entire life to having a little ear infection. It went away, it came back. The pediatrician just said, I might go get some blood work. And I told her, we're gonna run up to the hospital to get some blood work and we'll be back to get your sister at school, and that was it. And we never left the hospital, and we're still here today, a year and almost a month later. She had AML, a more aggressive form of leukemia. We found a super generous stranger who was willing to donate, and a pretty good match, and we got her to transplant in 2 months. We're still dealing with post-transplant complications, and that's what's kept us in the hospital so long. We have another daughter who, of course, was uprooted from her life and her school, and has been here with us. We take turns of, who stays in the hospital with Mia and who stays over at the Ronald McDonald House with our other daughter, Ava. You would think that life should just stop because you're going through such a major ordeal, sitting in a hospital room fighting for your daughter's life, yet the world keeps spinning. We were connected with There With Care through our social worker. It's just such a wonderful organization. For us, the most important aspect of There With Care are the people that we've come to know through them, volunteers that now I don't consider volunteers anymore, but I really consider good friends. It's been an amazing support for us. They really look forward to their visits from Carrie, who brings wonderful activities for the girls to do. Although we're anxious to get back home, what Mia really wants is to be able to travel back to Italy as soon as possible. So that's one of our biggest goals. The amazing amount of strength that Mia has had inspires me to attempt to have the same.
I feel very lucky that There With Care matched me with his family and that we felt connected. I find it so empowering and uplifting and humbling to just be doing a craft or sitting next to someone so that they're not by themselves.
We don't have the staffing to have a nurse just sit in the room. And so a volunteer from There With Care will come and sit with the patient while the parent goes out for a walk for an hour. It's really the little things that can make the difference between feeling supported or feeling alone, and There With Care takes care of the little things.
You know, it's just not about meals. It's bigger than that.
Whatever you need, whenever you need it, as much as they can do, they're there for you.